Hi Karan, hi Kanishk. Thank you for joining us today. That it has been such a long journey since from when the show first started in 2017, and you now have two seasons, an Emmy nomination, and other shows of yours like Mirzapur becoming youth sensations. Now that you have created this, I want to know a little bit about the inception of the show in 2017, and what did you want to make of the show then?
Okay, I guess this is an idea that came to me because I was getting increasingly frustrated with what was happening to cricket. I love cricket. I've been watching cricket since I was probably I should not have been watching cricket like even as a baby. But it's just I felt like franchise cricket is sort of corrupting the game a little bit, and I was just getting agitated for no reason, just as a viewer. And I was like, let's. It just lends itself to good drama to see what is the behind the scenes look at what's happening with cricket, because everyone's heard about all the parties and all the stuff that happens during franchise tournaments, and it was and there's so much rivalry, and there's a good mix of international players and players coming out of small town India making it big, losing their heads. So there's such interesting stories that had to be told. So we wrote a pilot, a concept note, and at that time there was no OTT platform, right? But and we didn't know what to do with it. It couldn't be a film because there was so much to tell, and it had to be like a long form uh, serialized show. And then it couldn't have been on television because of all the restrictions that you have on television. And then suddenly, Excel came along and Amazon came along, and we just got greenlit like in a heartbeat, and we were on our way. Having said that, it was always about singing praises to Test cricket and getting it back home like cricket, and winning the fan back over to the glory of Test cricket, and that's where season 3 has landed up, and that was always sort of the intention to get to this point. So the journey has been very satisfying. I'm really thrilled that we have gotten a third season, and that we have gotten to this point, and we've managed to tell the story in its entirety. It's like almost 25 hours of storytelling that we've got to this point, and yeah, that's how it started, and this is how it's going. That means.
So, taking something like Test Cricket League, but, it finds its echoes in reality more often than not. So how difficult is it to fictionalize something like a Test Cricket League and the scandalous nature of it? Did you have any problems, fictionalizing the whole part?
To echo what Karan was saying, like, there's so much, not more the scandalous per se, but just how, that how these 5 days, like, like Karan said, we had to show it in one episode versus like, so many T20 games in one episode that you could have. And then not more so like a league, is just that how India, Pakistan, what is bigger in cricket, especially Test cricket, than India, Pakistan, right? For us as Indians. So that how that, and it's not just for the sake of having an India Pakistan match that it's there, that it was written. There is a lot more to it, that how that adds to the ongoing drama that is happening with the rest of the characters and the power play. So it's not just an India Pakistan match. There's so much more to it, and how that match kind of like affects our primary players, and there's a lot happening. So all I can say is that the whole series was put not just because we wanted to show Test cricket, but a lot of where Bhai Saab and where Dhawan and where the power play shifts has got to do with international, international cricket. So this is where this new format, the Test cricket, comes into play.
So Kanishk, when there's a show has a new team of writers or directors or makers with a new season, there's you also need certain kind of fluidity with each season to come. So do you think that new makers coming on board is a good thing, or does it hold a fear also of for you to maintain the fabric of the show?
Well, yes, I mean, they need new maker. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been on season 3 if it didn't require new people to come on board. But I mean, I'm just it. it was just I guess with each season it kind of gets some kind of freshness to it, maybe like some, because it's very difficult, even I'm sure for for Karan to have created this, and he directed the first season and also a lot of like the second season, to kind of just like give his baby under somebody else's supervision. So it's a huge thing, but I guess it kind of the collaborative process, something great comes out of it, I feel, and that's where we stand on season 3,
So with season 3, there's so many new additions to this season. I mean, apart from the new characters, we have the whole India-Pakistan angle that, like you mentioned, and the stakes just get higher. But since you said that it's much more than that, and tell us a little bit more about the themes that you're exploring in season 3.
All the play that happens behind the broadcast rights and the auctioning of broadcast rights, these are very big numbers that are into play for telecast, and we've explored that in a very fun way. There is there's a fight there's the involvement of politics in cricket, which again it's a fictional take on how cricket is intertwined with the highest echelons of political circles, and there's so much quid pro quo that goes on between political circles and the involvement of politics in cricket boards. There's that. There's the question of identity. Like we have Akshay Oberai's character Rohit Chandbag as captain of India, and there's a track with him and Tanuja's character Vayu Raghavan, where it's a battle of endorsement deals and cricketers and their endorsement that's going on. Then we have a deeper, more cerebral sort of tracks where you have Rohit, who's also gay, and the captain of India is a gay character, and that's a secret that he has, and he's struggling with it. And being gay in sport is something that we really thought would be a very timely issue to address in this season, and something I'm really happy and proud of bringing to this season as a writer. And there is a couple of other things. I think the women totally take charge in this one also, and they're no longer, they are the ones who are pulling the strings. They're the puppeteers in this one, and they all have fantastic arcs in this season.
Well, I mean, so Karan's mentioned it all, but I think that one thing which I keep saying is that the origin stories of each character is what I think is one of the biggest themes of I would say, in addition to whatever Karan's mentioned and more. But for me, primarily, like you get to know these characters. You get to know who Bhai Sahab was, who Mantra was, what was their relationship, who Dhawan was, why is he in a particular way, who Vayu and Rohini are, what are their origins. So that is something that I really like, and I'm really, people love these characters so much. In fact, the first time when I met Karan, of course, like season 2 had not come out, then it was just about to, and my first question was, who's Bhai Sahab? Like, that was like the first. So I mean, and a lot of people asked me when they got to know that I was doing Inside Edge season 3, they were like, who's Bhai Sahab? Who's Bhai Sahab? So that is how much they love the show, right? And and like the characters. And I'm really positive. I'm really fingers crossed that they love it as much as I did when I read the first episode. And of course the others, that who are these people? Who is Bhai Sahab and who is Dhawan? So I think that is a huge theme of season 3, is that we get to know these characters that people have loved for so long.
I wanted to ask about this one particular scene in season 2, actually, that there's a very, very beautiful, I think it's one of my favorite scenes from all of the show so far, that there's this scene between Siddhant Chaturvedi's character and Amit's character, where they come to terms with their caste differences and identity. So, there's so much of infusion that you do with about other things. So how do you piece all of it together with so much while keeping, the spirit of the show as cricket alive?
Yeah, I mean, what is cricket but a sort of melting pot of, talent coming from all corners of the country and sort of having to work together to the best of the abilities and, riff off each other to create magic on the field, right? So this is not going to happen seamlessly. The moment you put 11 men in on a, together, they are going to just have all sorts of issues starting from ego, going to identity. Okay, and they're all athletes. They're all like alpha in their own way. So that's all you had to pick out from reality, right? So when you have a small town boy uh, come into with a lot of talent and is suddenly thrown into this mad glitzy world, and how that's so difficult for someone to keep their heads about them. And he's cut to size by Amit's character, who he's a bully, right? I don't think he's not going to catch the ball that he's bowled. So that's not gonna happen. But he will throw his weight and bully him. And I think especially Amit's character, we haven't spoken about it enough. I feel like in this season, he's like a very crucial. I think his arc, starting from where we were in season 1 to where it lands up in season 3, is just so much fun. And people who are fans of his and his character Devendra Mishra, they're gonna love this.
Now that you have already established 2 seasons, was there a change in the approach in approaching season 3 and how you went in terms of writing and production?
We don't want to show the same thing over and over again. The same energy, same over and over again is the very fact that we just moved from T20 to tests automatically dictated the writing in a way of all the other scenes, and just you bring that test mentality into the writing also. Like there's a lot of parallels I can draw between cricket and real life and even any endeavor for that matter, including writing. And I think using that as a core, like that as a guiding light of what is test cricket. It's attrition. It's like, staying the course. It's about patience. And it's about the intricacies of the game and just knowing it's not just wham bam boom, which a lot of it was in season 1, for example, and now there's Therav, I think, is one way to put it. But production wise, I think Kanishk had a pretty smooth ride, yeah. So we didn't change much. I think the big change was just having one director for the entire season from season 2, and just handing over the reins and trust to the new kid on the block, and he's completely delivered, if I may say so.
And there was so much cricket in season 2. Do we expect that much amount of cricket in season 3 as well?
More. Like trust me, like a lot more. And I mean, as biased as it may sound, better. But no, I mean, like it's just true. I mean, I never. You're making it for the fans of the show as well, right? And so you have to cater, you have to keep that in mind. And I think like with every season, and most of comments or messages that I keep getting on various social media platforms is about, like, I mean, it is just, in fact, one very funny one I read on YouTube comment where it said, sir, hum World Cup ka badla Inside Edge 3 mein lenge, going with the India Pakistan. So it's just that when you know that people love the show so much, so you have to really, if I'm watching the season 3, and now when you look at the comments and just general people are so excited about it, you expect more. Like when I'm watching my favorite show, I'm expecting more and more and more. So yes, definitely on that account is a lot more. But it's not just that there was say, just to give an example, say like 50 minutes of cricket in season 2, so we will have 55 minutes of cricket. No, not that way, but just that whatever was essential to the story as well. And in a way that we really pushed the boundaries in the way we shot the cricket also, like, because with each year, even in cricket, in actual broadcast, every year you have something new come up, from the way they show it. So that also we kept in mind. We try to do some new things that have not been tried or they're not tried on season 2. So in that way, yes, a lot more, but it's still going to be like the entire soul of Inside Edge that people have loved from season 1 and season 2. That's going to be there.
I think I read an interview of yours, Karan, where you mentioned that the reason that you made the show to begin with was your undying love for cricket. And when you are making the show with including all the ugly aspects of it to the commercialization of it, how difficult is it to maintain your own fondness for the game?
So, as I said earlier, like you mentioned it, and like I said earlier, it's always been about. Look, always want to highlight what are the issues with cricket and what's happening. But season 3 is where we celebrate cricket. Season 3 is where we are, singing praises and an hallelujah to Test cricket, and that's where we always wanted to be. That was always the point that we wanted to make. That Test cricket is the most fun, interesting. We want to bring back fans to Test cricket. I really hope that we convert at least some people who only watch T20 to come back and watch Test cricket. I just and for me that would have been mission accomplished. So it's there is no seedy aspect of Test cricket, and we're playing with having India and Pakistan play each other, and that's where true sportsmanship, that's where true camaraderie and needs to shine through, where sports is above all else, and that's what we have tried to capture this time around.
Although viewers had so many theories attached to what this character represents, or this is about this particular event that happened in real. So now that it's India, Pakistan, do you think these theories and controversies or conspiracies are going to come back?
They should. That's what fuels. That's the fun part, right? Like everyone's guessing who did what. Is this incident from there? And surely there'll be enough people who will find out. Oh no, okay, I know where they've got that idea from. But like if you just saw like the World Cup final, the 50-over World Cup final, like it was just incredible. Like how do you even write that stuff? If one wrote that, people are like, come on, man, like it's not even real. So we are not competing with real cricket when it comes to the drama, but definitely borrowing from real cricket when it comes to making our drama.
No, I mean, like what Karan said, it's and so true because initially you don't kind of Test cricket. A lot of people you won't find it, like, oh, I can't watch for 5 days and stuff. And like I have a lot of friends that prefer watching T20 or one days. But and also when we were writing, when Karan wrote it, and when we were shooting it, we didn't have many instances of like nail biting finishes, right? I mean, and recently, I just see how things have turned up, right? Last 1 year, the Test cricket just like shot up. So I feel that that aspect of it, that people are going to watch it, and also we have instances in real life now that the Test matches can also be like super interesting. So we're really hoping that after this, we kind of find new fans for this format, the purest format of the sport.
Inside Edge was sort of one of the first among the genre drama originals by a global streaming platform. And now that we have grown so much, and there are more interesting and nuanced stories, do you think that now we have sort of in streaming space, like we're doing it right now, or do you think there's a lot more in the streaming space that we yet have to uncover?
We are doing pretty well. I feel like, it's barely been enough time, and we have seen so many quality shows come out, whether it's Family Man or whether it's Patal Lok and all these other shows. So I really love what we're doing with the medium. These are stories that could not have been told in any other manner. And I obviously there's a long way to go, because these are all stories and writers who have been holding on to some dear ideas for the longest time, me included. So I can't wait to just get out there and have it's a conversation. It's about making a world and having viewers sort of be in it and develop a relationship.
Well, I think there's so much like Karan rightly said, it's the best time. People have kind of, especially I feel somewhere in last year, in the lockdown, I think people just saw so much content online, and it's just a great time for any makers, because you're not, you can tell a lot of stories, and and the platform, especially Amazon, they kind of are ready to take on subjects which would not be considered quote unquote, a commercial or theatrical release. There's so much more that we can tell, and I think it's the best time, like Karan said rightly, for content creators, for writers, for directors, where you get to do stuff that you wouldn't usually, because it's so kind of dominated, or there's like a formula per se with box office, with theatrical. But on shows and on this platform, it just gives you just an open book to kind of like think of anything you want to create, and look at the show that Amazon's coming up. Look at, an Inside Edge, and Mirzapur, whatever. It's such great stories that just have such a supportive, platform, and it's the best time to create as much as we can.
Thank you again for taking the time out. It was great talking to you guys, and all the best for season 3.
Thank you so much.
So much.
Bye.